We went into a fairly difficult situation, and coming from a place like Ohio State, coming from Arkansas, Wisconsin, places that had a history of winning, what's the biggest adjustment that's going into year two for you?
When I went to Arkansas, we were 3-9. There were a lot of parallels between first year at Arkansas and first year here at Rutgers. Going into year two, we're really focused on making our team better football players. I think we've got a great culture laid. I think the standard and expectations that we have in the program are there, and we just got to make our guys better football players. That's it. And our team is a close team right now. And what we really got to do when I say become better football players is we got to stop doing the things that get you beat. We were one of the worst teams in the conference in turnover margin last year. We got to protect the football, and we got to get more turnovers. We had a lot of penalties in critical situations. We had mental errors in critical situations. We had 4 opportunities to win games in the fourth quarter last year, and we didn't get it done because of those things right there.
And you're playing against teams, 3 games last year specifically, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. I think the final score cumulatively was like 165 to nothing or something crazy. Is there a point where it's not that it's comical for you guys, of course, because it obviously drives you crazy, but how do you teach lessons to kids from those sort of outcomes?
We just move on, and there's not a lot to take from it. At that time, in those games, in a couple of those games, the Penn State game was 9-0 at halftime. A lot of people don't. It was a fairly close game. We just got to the point we couldn't do anything on offense, and that was really the story of the year. We couldn't do much on offense, and when that happens, then it just kind of bleeds to the rest of your football team. And I guess the number one lesson is, we got to play complementary football. And it requires all 3 phases to operate at a high level if you have a chance to win. You look around the nation, college football, I don't care where it is, teams that win can score points, they play good defense, they got a good kicking game. You can't be a one-dimensional team, and that's probably the number one thing we took out of it.
What do you think is a realistic timetable for this program in terms of closing that gap with Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan? How long will it take for this program to get to where they can seriously challenge those kind of teams?
I don't care about those guys. I'm concerned about ourselves. You could ask every team in the league that same question. Outside of those 3 teams, those 3 teams have they've got more history, tradition, and they've been at elite level for a long, long time, and that's been the same thing for the majority of the Big Ten. I'm just concerned about making our program as good as it can be and keep getting better every single day. And I'm not into comparisons. I'm not into trying to see where we're at. At the end of the day, I want us to be the best we can be, and I want us to start to win games. And who we beat, it doesn't matter to me as long as we beat people.
I guess a better question then would be, what do you feel like are realistic goals for this team for 2017? What are the areas in which this team needs to be? Obviously, probably kind of everywhere. But
yeah, we need to be better everywhere. It starts at the quarterback position. There's not a program in the history of football, whether it be high school, college, or NFL, that has won with bad quarterback play. And we need to get that fixed first. Then we need to move to our offensive line. You want to be able to run the ball, and you want to be able to protect the passer, and we couldn't do either one of those very well last year. We've got to get our offensive line fixed, and then the third part of it is the kicking game. When you talk about the battle of field position, starting average field position for our defense when I took the field was one of the worst in the league, and we can't do that and expect to play good defense. So we have to fix our kicking game. Those are the 3 areas. If you talk about our football team from a football standpoint, where we have to address to win games, it's those 3 areas first.
Chris, do you have a view of Friday night football games and their place in the college game and Big Ten vis-a-vis the high school game?
I think, in my opinion, at least in the Big Ten football is for Saturday, and high school football in our landscape is for Friday night. And we're playing Friday night of Labor Day weekend, which I'm completely fine with because high school football has not started in our state, and it's not a conflict, and it's the opening game of the season. That makes sense to me. But to have Big Ten conflict and rival high school football on Friday nights, I don't think that's the right thing to do. And I'm glad that there's ongoing conversation about that in our league to make sure that we're doing the right thing and trying to preserve Friday nights for the people that should be playing on Friday night.
There are a lot of the schools that are in your league have tried to be very active in your state. obviously winning helps. Right now, what is your pitch, and what are you trying to do as best you can to keep talent from leaving New Jersey to go anywhere, but especially to somebody else this week?
Well, I mean, you look at recruiting, and it all starts in your backyard. You want to be able to win the majority of the recruiting battles in your backyard. But if you look at the history of college football, very few people do that. People just want to leave at times. But to keep the majority of the players that we want at home in our program, it's just constant conversation about our plan, our vision, and we got to win games. Every recruit wants to go somewhere where he feels like he's going to be developed, going to have a chance to win. He's going to have a good experience, get a good education. I think we can provide all of those things as we move forward. Right now, today, after going 2-10, it's some people don't see it that way, but I think Rutgers has a chance to do all of those things, and when we do that, then people are going to want to come to our program.
Can I also ask, do you have a view of about 5 minutes about the early signing day? Any thoughts? I know we haven't seen how it's going to work yet, but any thoughts on how it will work?
There's a lot of unknowns. The early signing day in December has been kicked around for 10, 15 years, and it's finally coming to life. But it's been discussed for a long, long time. I think right now the only thing it's going to do is accelerate the process even more, which is a scary slope to go down. But we're all dealing with it right now, and everyone's going to have different ways to handle visits and decisions that need to be made because of the earlier signing day. And it'll be an adjustment period. I think what will happen is after we get through the first year of it, just kind of like Friday night football and training camp, what we'll do is everyone will get back together and have conversations and dialogue about what was good about it, what was not good about it, and do we continue to go with it or do we got to adjust it?
Staying on the recruiting front, you guys have kind of undergone a serious brand renovation in the last year with Carl kind of leading the way with the new graphics.
Yeah.
How important has that been for your program to kind of get on the cutting edge of design and graphic, sort of interaction with recruits?
Yeah, I think social media is a great way to connect with recruits and with fans. Back in the day, what was really the role of media and the relationship between a football program and media was to connect with fans, and right now social media is really that. Again, it is about branding. It is about showing people what we're doing in our program and trying to excite recruits about what we do and how we do it. That, hey, we're going to have accountability and discipline and structure in our program, but we have a lot of fun. You can get a great degree, and you can talk those things, but showing them is a whole other thing through graphics, through video, and all the things that we've been doing. And I think you can see around the nation a lot of people are doing that, and I like to think that we're doing it as good as anybody out there.
You guys also made a switch just in the last few weeks from Nike to Adidas.
Yeah.
How much of that decision is in your hands?
It's not. Those decisions. The Nike contract was going to be up at the end of June, and we were either going to have to renegotiate with Nike or find someone else to give us the deal that we wanted. And through conversations and hours of hard work put in by Pat Hobbs and his team and administration, we struck a pretty good deal with Adidas that we're all very excited about. If you look at Adidas right now and the trend that they're on, they're going up, and they're making a huge comeback. And we're excited to be a part of Adidas, and that relationship, I think, is exciting for our program and our players right now.
Obviously, you're competitors now, but do you still keep in touch with Urban Meyer much?
Yeah, I talk to him on a fairly regular basis. I mean, I got a lot of friends in this profession, and when you're on the other side, you're a competitor with everybody, whether it's in recruiting or on the field. But I got strong relationships with a lot of people, and I stay in touch with a lot of people, and I pick their brain on a lot of stuff. Always just trying to find out what people are doing, and he's no there. He's one of them.
What are the biggest lessons you learned from working with Urban that you've applied so far to being a head coach?
There's a lot. I mean, I was very fortunate to be at Ohio State at the time that he was at in his career, where he had done a lot of things and tried a lot of different ways. And the number one thing that I've probably taken from my time with him at Rutgers is alignment in our building, making sure that our overall organization is working together for the common goal of winning and helping develop our players. And we're not having a training staff go one way and a strength staff go another and a coaching staff go a different way and have everybody fighting against each other. It's about complete alignment and everybody believing in the way that we do business. That's the thing that struck me the most from him is how he's able to get that done in his programs, and that's what we're trying to accomplish here.